Hi guys, welcome back. Let's put you back here where you can see things better. Welcome to another full moon ritual. You guys know the drill by now, unless you're new to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I love having you here. I'm grateful for all of the new viewers. Hi, Stephanie. Hey, you're the first one in the room. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, lady. So, listen, there's 5 people now. I'm going to go ahead and say this, and I will repeat it a couple times during the live feed. I live clear out in the sticks, and I do not have good internet service. I pay for the highest internet service they provide, but it is shaky at best. So if we lose, hi, Jesse. If we lose our live feed stream, then please don't go anywhere. I will end the feed and I will restart a new one. We're going to do, like I said, a full moon. This is the cold moon in Cancer. Phew, and I'm a double Cancer. I'm feeling it already, guys. So get yourself a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or whatever your preference is. Maybe some wine, an adult cocktail, whatever. And Jesse says hot cocoa. And we are going to go ahead and prepare space and get ready for our ritual. If you're not familiar, then you might want to get a little tea light candle. Some people use birthday candles because they burn fast. I use actual spell candles, or they also can be called chime candles. And we're going to set our intentions. Remember, full moons are about releasing. Don't burn the house down. Full moons are about releasing energy, and new moons are about manifestation. However, I want to add my little 2 cents here. This is the last moon cycle, the very last moon cycle of 2020. And so if you haven't already, which I haven't, I intend to do it after we do our live broadcast tonight. I intend to make kind of like my New Year's resolution, only I'm going to do it as my intentions to set for the new year for 2021. As you all know, 2020 has been a wild ride at best. And so I want to manifest my highest and best life for 2021. All right, so none of my things want to burn tonight. Not sure why. So go ahead and introduce yourselves in the chat. If you don't already know each other, you know, we are a love tribe, a soul tribe that share a lot in common when it comes to ascension and or twin flame journeys, right? By the way, guys, I got another new deck of cards. This is called Spirit Oracle. And I got this from, I think it was Hay House. And I didn't think it was going to be that big a deal because it was rather inexpensive. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Sam. Hi, Diane, Stephanie. So I really did. I wasn't expecting a lot, but I love it. I mean, oh my God, it's a wonderful, beautiful deck, and it really resonates a lot of the messages. So we're going to implement it tonight into the reading. I do have a channeled reading that I am going to share with you tonight. I did a sacred bath like I always do on the full and new moon. And I prayed and meditated, and I got a download from Spirit on the energies around this Cancer moon. And my notebook's a wreck because like I always grab the first thing I can find. When the messages start coming in, it's like I got to have a pen, I got to have a paper, and I got to be ready. And I was in the bath. I was expecting to do the channeled message. Hi, Kai, or Cal. Cat. I'm sorry. I can never read that far away. I know you're always here, and I always slaughter your name, but you know I love you. Hi, Leah. I thought you were going shopping, girl. Hi, Beck. Okay, guys, you know the drill. I'm going to remind you because now we're getting a few more people. If the live feed gets dropped because I live out in the country, don't go anywhere. I will start a new live feed and just come right back in the room. We are tenacious at best, right? We will never, ever give up. And so I'm going to go ahead here and I would like to do the moon ritual first. Santa hasn't come to my house yet. Wink, wink, you know who you are. So I'm running out of colors in my candles, so I got to use what I've got. I'm using a red candle for the twin flame union energies, and I'm using a yellow candle for the moon manifestation and release ceremony. Okay, so if you're ready, get your candles out, get your pen out, which I've only got one. I'm going to have to clean the tip after I do it. So I'm writing. Now, I don't know what you guys want to write. You have to trust your inner guidance. But for my twin flame union candle, I am drawing the the Vesica Pisces with the yoni. I'll get it right eventually. I'm writing twin flame union. And I always write love. So there is my red candle. And now on my yellow candle, I am carving into it I am releasing what needs released with gratitude. For what is coming in. Okay. All right, guys. I use my little anointing oil. I'm going to use the protection oil. These are the two oils I use every time. This might be a little redundant and boring for those of you who come every 2 weeks. However, it's what I do, and I share it with you with love and light and gratitude. And hopefully, after doing this so many times, you guys might have went to Amazon or someplace and purchased your own tools for your manifestations. Okay, I'm putting my love oil on it. This one says love for my union energies. I'm only putting that on my love candle. Okay, here we go, guys. Are you ready? I'm going to melt the wax on the bottom into my little dish here and plant that sucker right down. Of course, it don't want to stick. Ooh, I think it's going to stay. And then I'm going to use the other one, put it right next to it. All right, I'm going to light this bad boy up. Are you guys ready? And then I'm going to say a prayer and invocation with you, if you would just like to join me in that. Dear Mother, Father, God, please come into this space and bless it and make it holy ground. Surround us in the white light of love and protection. Cast my ego to the outside so that I can be a clear channel for spirit messages. And we ask for all of our dreams. We're going to reach high, guys. We're going to reach high for the new year. We're asking for all of our dreams to come in, and we are grateful, grateful, grateful. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So I'm going to put those bad boys over there. We're going to let those suckers burn. Now we're going to write out our intentions, guys. I drizzled by accident a little bit of my oil on my channeled message. So hi, everybody. Hi, Jeanette. I'm trying to see who's in the room. I think I got everybody. Dawn. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Lisa. Hi, guys. Okay, so let's write down our intentions. Now, this is not your list for, like your New Year's resolution. I suggest you do that on your own, private, with your own spirit guides, and go within to trust spirit on what you should be manifesting for the new year. But I am writing out my release, if my pen will write, my releasing. Now for me, guys, you guys can write whatever you want, but I am releasing old, limiting, or limited belief systems that I have expanded beyond. And I am calling in and manifesting my highest and best life, my twin flame union. And then I always write, I am a powerful, conscious, because remember, we're not asleep anymore, creator, co-creating with the divine, my highest and best life. And so it is. And I always finish with 3 thank yous. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And like I said, you guys probably have your own stuff that you write down. I used to write down, I am grateful that the love I seek is now seeking me. I'm grateful that the, money that I seek is now seeking me. As a matter of fact, I'm going to write down abundance too under Twin Flame Union. I'm writing down abundance and perfect health. There we go. Now, guys, here's the big deal. We're going to, now, remember, you guys can do it any way you want to, but the tighter you twist it, the slower it burns, and the more times you might have to relight it. So I just barely twist it. I set that sucker on fire. I offer this up to God and to all the angels to hear our prayers and to answer them. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then I drop it over here into my bowl, which hopefully you guys brought a bowl. Just try not to burn my sage up with it. And I let that sucker burn. And I'm telling you guys, I don't know about you. You should tell me in the comments or email me and tell me, have these manifestations been working for you? Because boy, have they for me. My whole life has changed since I started doing manifestation rituals. Every new moon, every full moon, and usually on the energetic portals too. Hi, Millie. I miss you, girl. Hi, Bianca. Cassandra. Monica. I'm having a hard time reading that far away. If I miss somebody, know I love you. Okay, 24 people in the room, only 8 likes, guys. Can you light it up for me? Just hit that like button. All right, so mine's already burnt. It's already toast. Okay, now we can get to the meat and the potatoes, right? Come on, guys, hit that thumbs up for me. It really does put the videos out there. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I've had a couple of people who commented under one of my very first videos that I ever made. I guess it's been showing up in people's feed. And so that is awesome because, like, it's what, going to be 2 years, I think. Is it going to be 2 years? I don't know. Time goes by so fast. But to have one of my very original readings show up as a suggested video, that's pretty cool, right? I want to remind the newbies. Hi, Beck, Kathleen. I want to remind anybody, if you haven't been with me for a while, that way back, probably, I don't know, beginning of the summer maybe, I made a twin flame Sacred Heart video, which is a meditation. And I had never done anything like that before. So that was a big, big thing for me. So if you're interested, if you want to do the meditation, it's all about, connecting in the heart space, first union, right? Union in the heart space first. Go check that out. Okay. So let's take a look here. I'm going to now go into the channel message because we don't want to go 3 hours like we normally do. Although I love every minute I spend with you guys. So the channeled message came through to me a little different this time. Usually Spirit sounds in my head like a third, like I'm talking in third person. This one didn't. I think this actually might have been channeled by my higher self because it sounded like me. If you don't channel, you may not understand what I'm talking about, but it did. It kind of sounded like me. So I'm going to go ahead and read it to you because I channeled it a lot earlier and I don't remember everything. So it says, full moon in Cancer. Have you healed your insecurities? Have you found your inner strength? Built your firm foundations? Are you whole within yourself? Or are you still waiting for a hero or a savior to come and rescue you? Cancer rules the 4th house of family, relationships, foundations, childhood friendships, and your upbringing and sense of security. Cancer is also ruled by the moon. So Spirit says this full moon is geared toward doing an energy check-in around the shadow work and healing of your inner child. If you've been deep diving and clearing old patterns and limited belief systems around your home life and upbringing, now may be a time of testing. An energy check-in, so to speak. Spirit led, right? You got to love those tests from the universe. Hit the thumbs up, guys. We got almost 30 people in the room and only half of you have hit the thumbs up. Unless you hate it. If you hate it, then that's different. But if you love it, please give it a thumbs up. So we're looking at testing. Spirit showed me like triggers being triggered in our trauma wounds, our childhood, specific childhood trauma wounds around parents and the bullies and the siblings and, religious upbringings and different belief systems. So what were you taught as a child that still holds water today? And what does not? What was ancestral patterning? My grandma did it, and my grandma's grandma's that kind of thing. What was ancestral patterning and belief systems that were true and necessary for survival and safety in the old energy that no longer supports our new energy? Traditions, religious teachings, what has survived and still supports who you are today? Who you have become, what traditions and beliefs still fit? Like a well-tailored suit, what have you outgrown? For instance, Were you raised in a Christian home with Christian values? And here, Spirit asked me to use my own Christmas Eve experience as an example. I was raised in a home where Christian values were a stick by which you measured yourself and others as being good or bad, such as being humble and kind. Still fits nicely today for me, at least. But also turn the other cheek. Well, these days I prefer to not offer up my cheeks for a nice smack, thank you. The meek shall inherit the earth. How does that one make you feel today? I attended church Christmas Eve, and the entire sermon was on how there was a war going on in our world today. And the preacher described it as God's war, where the wrath of God was being avenged against those who don't bend to his will or obey his command. That COVID is one of the many plagues in the end of days to punish mankind for our wickedness, that we are disobedient children and we need to repent. So on and so on and so on. Now, don't get me wrong. I love my parents' little church. I love each and every person that goes to it. They're very good people. And the pastor herself, I just love her to death. She's such a sweet, kind person. But the whole sermon was about how we, the people, were at war with God, and that we were rebellious and we were refusing to submit, right, to the will of the Creator. And there was much more, but I think you guys get the gist by now of where I'm going with this, right? So you get the picture. I felt angry, sad, disheartened. I found myself, I hope nobody noticed, but I found myself sitting in the pews, which, by the way, we segregated, right? Family, family, family. It was a very small church. There was maybe 5 families there, and we were all well far away from each other, and everybody was masked up. We were trying to sing Christmas carols and Christmas hymns with a mask on our face. That made me sad. I know it's necessary, possibly, but it made me sad. Everybody's beautiful singing voices sounded muffled. And I don't know. I hope the preacher didn't notice me sitting there shaking my head no to a lot of what she said, right? So I did. I felt disheartened. And I know this sounds blasphemous, but I literally felt this strong urge to get up on that pulpit and teach the same sermon from a new perspective, a perspective of hope, unconditional love. A lot of what was said could be considered true, but when you teach judgment, blame, shame, condemnation, you break the spirit. I know that I knew then how much I have grown and transformed, how my old belief systems no longer fit, how my consciousness and awareness and heart had expanded beyond those old limiting belief systems. I wholeheartedly believe that I could have stood up there and taught that same lesson in a way that the world could have been empowered, each and every person in that room and beyond, to lift their heads up, their minds and their hearts, and to take responsibilities for their own emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being, to empower them to be the change they want to see in the world, to go within to find God instead of giving all their power away to some old man with complete authority to save or destroy you, depending on his mood, or if you can be judged worthy. So I could go on, but I think if you've been watching my channel or channels like mine, you already have outgrown that particular suit. So Spirit asked me to challenge you to go within. Where else in your childhood or family dynamic were you taught or conditioned to believe things like what is right versus what is wrong, who you're expected to be versus who you know you are? Where were you told you weren't good enough or smart enough? or it was not meant or limitations. What practical versus impractical? What was practical? Sorry, guys, I can't read my own writing. What was practical versus impractical? Were you told things like you could never be fill in the blank because you were fill in the blank? So this full moon was perhaps designed by God and by spirit to challenge us in our own home, family, friendships, relationships. Where are we still on a very deep subconscious level running those old worn out records and limited beliefs? Judgment is a deep karma debt and wound. It holds and weighs us down. This full moon, watch for triggers around these beliefs and release them, like anchors and weights being cut off of a helium balloon. If you want to take full advantage of these energetic portals and planetary alignments, these rare occurrences that we will never experience again in this lifetime and many lifetimes to come, it's the perfect time to stretch and reach and dare to dream and move beyond those karmic trauma wounds and bonds. Step out of your proverbial box and create from a new, more expanded consciousness. We're being called to clear old karmic debts, 0 point energy, heart with wings and soul as light as a feather, to ascend into higher dimensions and timelines. There are only 2 ways to clear karmic debt, and that is through forgiveness and release, or by experiencing the repayment through the natural law of cause and effect. And karma must be balanced, one way or the other. If you need help with releasing karma and debt through shadow work, healing trauma wounds, and forgiveness, releasing karmic contracts from the past and current lifetime, this is kind of what my mission work is, guys. So, I'm here to help. You know how to reach me. There's information underneath all of my videos. But this really, really is my mission. It's what makes me want to get up in the morning. It's what makes me stay up late at night. It's what makes me channel spirit. I see a new future. I see a new world that we are creating as the light workers, right? And as the twins. So I don't know how much you know about twins, but there are the 12 tribes of Israel spoken about in the Bible, which is also a euphemism for the 12 original splits from God. God is one became two became four became six. And so the twins had to separate negative, positive, yin, yang, masculine, feminine, in order to experience, right? Because one cannot experience if there isn't contrast or something to compare it to. So the 12 tribes had 12 tribes, had 12. So 12 times 12 is 144,000, right? And so we are the original firstborn children of God. And with that comes a lot of responsibility. And we have been here for many lifetimes. We have died and reincarnated. We have ascended beyond 3D and 4D and 5D. And we're here again because this is big spiritual stuff that's happening right now. It's like I said, cycles within cycles. There are smaller cycles, bigger cycles, and then we go from the macro to the micro, or micro to the macro. And think about this, okay? I don't remember the number, but it's been thousands and thousands and thousands of years since a lot of these energies have had these conversations in succession. I mean, it's not like we never have a Jupiter and Saturn conjunction. That happens like every 30 years or something. But to have that with a blue moon and 2 full moons, or I can't even think right now because I'm channeling. But I mean, there's just, these things don't happen. The macro, the larger cycles are thousands and thousands years old, right? And so This is a huge shift. We are leaving the age of Pisces. We're now in the age of Aquarius. A lot of these signs have left earth signs and water signs and now moving into the air signs, right? Fire signs. And so we are dealing with a whole new ball of wax. And, you know, our economy has kind of been broken, where the big money people are at the top, you know, and then it's like, picture the Tower of Pisa upside down, right? It's like we go from the big to the little people, and it's been teetering for a long time. People are tired of it. People want to change. And so a lot of those towers that are very unbalanced, you know, it's like those that have versus those that don't. They're coming down, guys. They're coming down systematically. If you don't believe it, just stick around and watch. I am prophesizing for you. They are coming down. And we need the innovators. We need the creators. We need the teachers. We need the healers. We need those with new eyes and new vision to step into those authoritative leadership roles and create something new, something different to sustain us moving forward. And so I kind of got off of my channeling here. I'm channeling over the channeling, you know. But this is really important to me. And so I'm invested. I really want to see each and every one of you find union if you're twins. And if you're not twins, if you're, you know, on the journey of ascension, I want you to find the frequency match to the new world that we are creating. Because remember, you've got to match the vibration, right? And so if you start off way down here in these lower timelines and you've been clearing, you've been cutting away those little anchors and weights of karmic debt. The biggest one for me wasn't forgiving others. I find that easy, guys. I really do. It's forgiving myself. You know, I lived in a 6-year relationship with a man that nearly killed me weekly. He was so abusive. And, you know, I convinced myself that, you know, he was abused and he was so broken and damaged, and I loved him and I could fix him. You know, I could fix him. I could heal him. And sometimes I get caught up in that savior attitude. I'm still trying to save people, but I'm doing it different now. I'm saving others by saving myself first and then teaching others how I did it. I'm not there yet, guys. I'm not going to lie and say I've got it all figured out. I'm walking maybe a couple steps in front of some, maybe a couple steps behind others. And so I'm not here to tell you that I am going to fix the world, but I am here to tell you that I will not stop until the world is fixed. And I will do everything that I can to make it happen. Okay, so, you know, there's my little plug. If you need a deep dive, if you need me to look at past life karma, if you need me to look at your childhood trauma wounds, you know, that's my mission. I want to help you with that. Okay, so reach out and let me know. Email me. So I'm going to go back now to the channeled message. So we are here to ascend and to create the 5D heaven on earth experience, prophesied, by the way, prophesied in many, many religious systems, many indigenous. It's written on cave walls and on emerald tablets and Sumerian tablets and scrolls, you know. It's been prophesied, guys. This is going to happen. The rainbow warriors are here, and we are here to change, to be the change that we need to see, right? So Spirit has shown me that we can't continue to wait for a savior to rescue us. We must save ourselves. We can't keep blaming others or relying on our governments or our religious leaders or factions to save us. We instead must learn that we are powerful, conscious creators, co-creating with the divine, and it's time to start with the one in the mirror. If we can heal ourselves and then teach others how to do it, then we begin to rise and ascend as a collective. We must stop the beliefs of separation and start embracing the newfound belief of union. Union within, and then create union as a collective. My spirit team asked me to take a moment here at the end of the channeling to commend you all for all the hard work that you have done on your ascension, and to ask you to use the energy of this full moon in Cancer to release and let go of all that no longer serves you or the collective, for you're ready to create your new life and your new clothes. Who do you want to be when you grow up? The time has come to reach for the sky. And then, you know, spirit kind of, they get cheesy with me sometimes. And I heard that quote, I don't know who quoted it, but it says, shoot for the stars, or no, shoot. Yeah. How's it go? Shoot for the moon. And if you miss, at least you'll be among the stars or something. I don't remember, but it came to me clearly while I was in the bathtub. We can't keep thinking small. We can't keep our whole life has changed. COVID has changed the way that we do things, and for better or for worse, I think for better, we're going to create a new future. And, you know, new medicine, using healing sound, frequency, light, herbs, you know, it's kind of like all of the things that work, that we knew worked, you know, we've kind of moved away from it, but it's going to be like spirit keeps showing me, and I know this sounds so sci-fi, but we are moving into the age of Aquarius, but there are light workers out there who already are downloading, like Tesla had downloads from spirit, right? They're already downloading these blueprints on how to build these healing machines, right? That use sound and frequency. There are ways to kill viruses. It's like, I was doing research on this. Everything holds a vibration, and you can, like, say, I'm sure you've seen opera singers that shatter wine glasses. So that wine glass holds a certain frequency. And if you can match that frequency and then surpass it, it shatters. And so there's research done on that, and spirit showing me like these beds that are going to be created where you lay on these beds, and lights and frequency is resonant through the body, and it's going to kill cancer, and it's going to kill viruses, and the future, guys, is going to be bright. And we're not needing to clone people. We don't need to modify our food supply. There's nothing wrong with our food supply. God made everything perfect. And so I don't know, guys, you can believe what you want to believe, but I see a future that is rife with innovation and smart kids that are going to step up, right? They already are. Just type into YouTube, new innovative scientific whatever, fill in the blank. Out there somewhere is some high school child that's already created it, right? Tesla discovered 0-point energy. That's been around for a long time, guys. It's the governments that the top dogs, right? That tower that's built like a triangle, large at the top and small at the bottom. It's not sustainable. And we're awakening. And it's because of the light workers. It's because of those on the ascension that we are awakening. We are raising the vibration of the planet. We have already gone through the galactic core. We are already past the 0-point energy. And it's time to let the past be in the past. So it's time, guys. Take a look. What doesn't fit anymore? What have you outgrown? Where has your consciousness expanded beyond the limited belief systems that we have been being trained to believe? And I'm not saying they were bad, you know, they had a time, they had a space. I remember my dad talking to me about, you know, when CDs came out, how LPs were always going to be, you know, the best way, and 8-track tapes. And I remember, this is how old I am. I DJ'd karaoke, and I used to win singing contests when I'd go to other KJ's karaoke shows. And it was when Cellular One first started making cell phones, and they were big, clunky, remote control looking cell phones with big, long antennas. And I can't tell you how many certificates I won for a free one of those. The phone was free, but you had to pay for the service. And I didn't like them. I just, you know, they weren't cool. I won pagers too. I remember when pagers were a big thing. And, you know, you could get a hold of anybody, anywhere, anytime. And then I remember, you know, when computers came out and they were DOS, right? DOS programs. Guys, we are expanding beyond all of that. This is a new era, and it is the age of Aquarius. And there are ways that we can create, because there's always duality, right? There's ways to create the future through cloning, through artificial intelligence, through, you know, supercomputers. We can allow them to take away our humanity, or we can create in a way that enhances our experience in the physical, in the body, right? The light workers are here because we desired a heaven on earth experience, a 5D experience with a physical avatar. We want to be able to smell and hear and see and speak and touch. It's a beautiful thing, humankind, you know. We don't want to lose it. We could give up the ghost. We could give up the avatar, and we could be back with source within minutes, right? That is, if you've learned your lesson, because, you know, maybe not. But I just really know that there is something that we're meant to create together. And so I'm going to leave the channeled message there, and I'm going to go into a collective read for this full moon. And then I'm going to do a twin flame collective read, kind of like I always do, guys. If you're a twin flame, stick around. Even if you're not a twin flame, stick around, because I'm going to do $10 super chat check-ins for anybody that wants one. I will get my little handy dandy notebook. For those of you who had children watching Blue's Clues growing up. So where do I want to put this? I need more room. There's no room in the inn, guys. My tea's getting cold. So, hello, everybody. I didn't look to see how you reacted to the channeled message, but I sure hope it resonated with you, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm not ready to give up this avatar. I'm not ready for mandated vaccines. Vaccines, yes. Mandated, I don't know if I'm ready for that. The known into the unknown, and to trust and rely on your intuition. And, you know, when you pray and you meditate, when you go within and you really talk to your higher self, you know, people like Einstein and Picasso, I mean, really, really, really famous creators, whether it was music or art or science or innovation, if you research them, you'll find out that they would meditate. They would take a little nap when they couldn't figure something out, and they would get the answers during that meditation, during that nap. And it's time that we quit relying on other people to save us. It's time that we start knowing how powerful we are as creators, and how we can change the world ourselves. We don't need to be rescued, right? You know, the Bible talks about Jesus coming back someday. They call it the Christ, right? Christ is returning. If you really do your research, which not many people like to do, you'll find that Christ is a title. It's not a person. Jesus was Christed. That means he was enlightened. He was, the enlightened one, or the illumined one. And so what we are entering now is Christ consciousness. Know thyself. If God is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning, the middle, the end, everything that was, is, and ever shall be, then that makes each and every one of us a fractile of that original creator. And if you resonate with being a true twin flame, and I say true because it's become a fad and so many people are embracing it when it may not be, and most of you guys that think you're twins pretty much are, because you've come to me for energy check-ins. But there's so many people out there in the twin flame community that are in narcissistic behaviored, relationships. Their person is beating them or hurting them, I don't know about you guys, but my twin flame has never hurt me. Yes, he's broken my heart, and yes, he's abandoned me, and yes, he's said some things that have hurt, but he has never raised a hand to me, and he never would. I know that. I'm not guessing at that. I know that. I know the love that we share. Whether we ever come into union in the physical or not, I know the love that we share. And we share a bond that, we were 20 years in separation. I never saw him for 20 years. And for those 20 years, I had dreams. We communicated regularly. I felt guilty because I was married and I was having dreams about my ex, and not just dreams, but dreams that were very real. And being a medium, I knew the difference. And so if you're truly a twin flame, you are one of the firstborn children of all that is. And every single soul that has ever been created came from us. God, 1 became 2, 2 became 4, 4 became 6. So we're very old souls, and we came here to literally save our children. That's why they call us the divine feminine, the divine masculine, right? We are the mothers of all of God's children, and we are the fathers of all of God's children. And God is the mother and father of all of us. And you can think of God as an energy, you can think of him as the cosmos, but I think of God as everything that is, was, and ever shall be. And we are creator beings from a creator race, from an original creator. And that means we're badasses. And our superpower is to create. So let's get it done. All right. All right, Spirit, please tell me what is the current collective energy for the collective and for all of my viewers and anybody that clicks on this video in the future. What is the collective energy at this time? Thank you. All right, let's I don't exactly remember what order they came out in, but we're going to turn them out here. Okay. Well, this is pretty, all right. So we have choose your battles on the bottom of the deck. That is the 7 of Wands. For me also, the 7 of Wands means don't step down. Don't let anybody knock you off of your sovereignty. How hard have you fought to be where you are today? How much shadow work have you done? How many things have you had to sacrifice? I don't know about you guys, but I don't even recognize myself. I look in the mirror. I'm not the same person. I have people that post under my pictures. They say things like, Tracy, you get younger with age. You don't get older. And that wasn't the truth. It wasn't. I was so unhappy. I was 300 and some pounds, and I just was miserable. I looked old in the face. I was heavy. I was burdened. And I'm telling you, this ascension has changed my life. My body is getting stronger. My skin is getting better. I can't explain it. If you have experienced it, give me a shout out. Okay, because I'm telling you, you look at pictures of me back in the day, I look better now than I've looked in 20 years. And I don't have an exercise regime or a skincare regime. I just unburdened so much trauma, so much. Okay, guys, Sandy, thank you. I'm going to write that down, but please don't send your money and your questions yet because I'm still doing a collective read and I can't keep track as I do this. You want twin flame, separation, but together in the 5D. Isn't that the best? I don't have those dreams as much as I used to because my twin and I communicate at least every couple of weeks in the 3D. So we don't connect as much in the 5D as we used to. All right, guys, hold off on your super chats, please, just until after I do the collective read. All right, so anyhow, stand your ground, 7 of Wands. In this deck, it says, in the 3D reality, once you start the ascension and start the healing process, right? Once you start that, people try to pull you into the 3D reality. They want to argue politics or religion or, they just want to keep you in those lower vibrations. They can't understand why you feel so damn happy all the time. I've actually had people say that to me. The world's falling apart. How can you be so damn happy all the time with rainbows and unicorn farts, right? And I'm like, because I've gone within and I have released all of those karmic patterns. I have done my forgiveness. I've forgiven myself. I've forgiven others. I put those ties to that balloon that was holding me down in the lower frequencies and vibrations. And so a lot of people challenge us, right? This cross people that are going to be naysayers. They're going to try to trigger us in those trauma wounds of our childhood. Don't let them. Stand your ground. You worked hard to be where you are today. Okay. And we have share the love, the 3 of Cups. For me, this is Spirit saying, when you receive the healing, when you embrace the healing, when you've done the release, when you've found your flow, when you've balanced your inner masculine and feminine energies, when you get to the yoni state, teach others. Okay. You can't force the lesson on anybody, but people will ask you, and they ask me all the time, how do you find so much joy and happiness in such turmoil times? And that's a perfect opportunity to teach, not preach, to teach. Well, this is what I did. I healed. I forgave those who owed me karmic debts. And I didn't have to experience them. I didn't have to repay them through experiencing the tit for tat. I tore those contracts up. I meditated. I asked their higher selves to release the bond of the karmic debt. I forgave them, asked them for forgiveness, and I tore the old contract up and I released it. It's gone, guys. I don't want anybody to owe me anything. I don't care how bad they treated me. I don't care how horrible it felt. I don't care how much they deserve it. I experience any karma because of me, and I don't want to experience any karma because of them. So I have learned how to do my shadow work. I'm not done yet. I still get triggered. I'm thinking Spirit's been pushing me to kind of expand the channel. When I first started my channel, they were like, no merchandise, no, promotion, that kind of thing. Spirit wanted to guide to me those who needed me out of my comfort zone. They're saying it's time to reach out. I have reached a certain level. Remember, you become the initiate, and then the student, and then the adept. And then you go from being the adept to the teacher. And the teacher is still all of those things. He's still the initiate, the student, and the adept. The teacher is all of those things. And then eventually, hopefully, we reach master, become the master. And so when you get to the teacher part, it is our mission work to spread the enlightenment, to hold that higher frequency, to be the love, right? To be the frequency of love and to bring that to the collective. And so I might just start a Teespring merchandise line, not because I'm trying to make a lot of money, because from what I hear, you don't make much. They make most of it. But because I want to put energy out into the world that makes people think. You know, if somebody's wearing a t-shirt that says dead button, it gives an opportunity to open up conversation. What does that mean? Well, I used to get triggered and I had some really hot buttons, and these hot buttons were trauma wounds, right? Abandonment, codependency, hot button, and then with a slash through it. And here goes our feed. Are you guys still there? If we lose a feed, I'm coming back, so don't leave. Come right back in the room. But every time we get about an hour in, for whatever reason, it starts getting iffy in here. But don't you think it would be cute to have a nice little cute t-shirt that's got a big red button with a no sign through it, the circle and the slash, and on the back or maybe on the top, say dead button, give you an opportunity to explain to people how to clear those triggers, how to, you know, maybe one that says red flag, you know, I don't know. I can get pretty creative. And so I'm thinking that we need an opportunity not to push the channel, but to push the message, right? To get the message out there. God, I sound preachy, don't I? I don't mean to. I just think it's time. It's time for us. It starts in here. And when you get done in here, you don't just sit around and say, hey, I'm healed, I'm doing good, and so I'm done. No, we're not done. We're not done. That then we teach, we show other people how to do it. We change the world one conscious mind at a time. So anyhow, that's what I'm channeling from Share the Love. Share the love. You are now learning to hold those higher frequencies, those hold those higher vibrations of unconditional love. And so share it. Get out there and share it. All right. So yeah, 100%, Lisa says. Thank you. So next, we have the Judgment card. Go figure, right? Because this is where it all began. All of it. Judgment is the karma that we need to clear. And it is also the Gabriel blowing his trumpet to awaken the 144,000 from their slumber, you know, rapture from the dead. You were asleep, you were dead, buried in the ground, forgotten, right? Never forgotten, guys. Nope. The angel blew his trumpet and awakened us. We had our catalyst, where it was the 1111, if it was, you know, a twin flame relationship. And sometimes it's a relationship with a person that you think is a twin flame that maybe isn't, but they're this beautiful catalyst soulmate that awakened you on your journey and got you going. So the Judgment card was the beginning of it all. It was that trumpet, right? It's all the signs and synchronicities and the guidance. And yeah, I don't know about you guys, but Spirit didn't give me a choice, man. I got 2x4s upside the head, and my inner guidance was not comfortable. I was pushed. I'm grateful, grateful, grateful. But I'm telling you, when I went through the dark night of the soul, it was a dark night. Okay. So we had the awakening, and then we moved into this helpless and hopeless, because this is the energy, freeing ourselves from that 8 of Swords energy, from that feeling, those belief systems. I like to think of each of those 8 swords as belief systems. I'm not good enough. What if I get hurt? What if I'm not capable. What if I fail, right? All those limiting belief systems that hold us back. Here is the dawn of the new age, right? There are choices. We have options. We have choices. You know, you can go left, you can go right, you can go up, down, backward. Well, let's try not to go backward. Let's try to move forward, right? But there is a path of least resistance. When you are in a canoe or a boat and you're out on a river, that water, if you allow it, will carry you, will flow around the obstacles. If there's, you know, sometimes I've noticed when I go canoeing or kayaking that, you know, the water wants to take me right for that big boulder. And I get scared and I start trying really hard to avoid it. And I've noticed that if I just relax and use to just maybe give a little shove here and there, for the most part, the water is going to take me right around the obstacle. And the water knows the path of least resistance. So Spirit is talking about, you know, you have the awakening, you release the karma through judgment, you know, release the judgments. You choose a path forward. You're no longer helpless and hopeless. Then the healing begins in the mirroring, right? You start looking at yourself in the mirror. What do I see? Who am I? Right? And this is the Four of Swords. This is like waiting for the blessings. It's the prayer. It's the, damn, I made it. I'm so relieved. You know, it's taking a moment to just reflect and see how far you've come. Then we have opportunity beckons. Another 4, by the way. How many? We've got 2 and 8 and 2 4s so far. So now we have the 4 of Cups. But in this deck, guys, this is not boredom. This is somebody who is ready to move beyond their limitations. This is somebody who is preparing to move away from things that don't serve them and into things that do. This is somebody who's got the world or whatever this thing is behind it. They're looking out over the balcony and they're ready, receiving an opportunity to expand, to leave that balcony, to leave the sandbox, to leave the limited confines of their beliefs and to explore out there and to do what? To create. We are creator beings. We are here to create. Okay? So the energy we are in at the moment is the 7 of Pentacles. Guys, the time of waiting is done. Time is waiting is done. I want to get some advice on the 7 of Pentacles because I feel like the time is now, the time is now, the time is now. So why is the 7 of Pentacles the current energy for the collective, Spirit? Look at that. 4 of Wands, guys. 4 of Wands. Everybody's waiting to create their union. Union with God, union with self. You know, you've got to choose your own happiness. You've got to. Clarity of belief. It's like everybody is at the moment. So if you resonate with being a twin flame, guys, you cannot stand around waiting for your person. You can't. That is not twin flame union. It's just not. Union has to happen in here first. You choose you choose your happiness. So let's just say, me personally, my twin flame is married, okay? I can't convince him, even though he's, he claims to be extremely unhappy in his marriage, right? I can't convince him to leave her. That would be wrong. And we've tried that in the past, right? He has to choose his own happiness. He can't divorce her for me. He's got to divorce her because he needs to do it for him, for his happiness, for his stability, for his highest and best life, because he's not happy and opportunity is beckoning, right? Opportunities are coming to create something different. And so if this is the energy that you're waiting on, and I know this is a collective reading, it's not just twin flames, but this is your home, your happiness. This is the Cancer. The Cancer rules the fourth house, the house that rules family, and you're the home and relationships, right? And so if you're waiting for this to come, you're not creating it. You're not creating it. But I'm going to go into a different way that you can look at this. We're setting our intentions. We're doing our manifestations. We are manifesting. And maybe we're waiting for the manifestation to anchor into the 3D reality, right? So that's a way of looking at that too. So I want to take a look at some advice for the collective. We're going to use the Moonology cards. I see that people are dropping out of the room now. Not a lot, a couple. I'm sorry if I'm taking too long. You guys know I'm a talker. So let's get advice for the collective, please, Spirit, for those who are watching, those who will watch, those who are seeking. What are the energies of this full moon in Cancer? What would you like to tell the collective about the current energies, Spirit? Oh, that's a lot. Okay. Wow. All right. So we have on the bottom of the deck, conclusions are within reach. We just had a full moon eclipse, guys, and a new moon eclipse. So, whatever you've been manifesting that you've been standing around waiting for because you manifested or you're trying to manifest it, you're waiting on it to come in. I would prefer to see the energy of the 3 of Wands, which is waiting for your ships to come in, not the 7 of Pentacles, because the 7 of Pentacles is slow moving energy. It's like your faith has wavered and you don't believe it's on its way, or you believe it's going to be 20 years down. It feels like that, right? But no, our joy and stability, our foundations, guys, we're building them now. So we need to balance spirituality and practicality. This is a full moon in Pisces. Then we have adjustments are required, 3rd quarter moon. Adjustments are required. We have it's time to release negativity. Some of us are going to be tested by the universe and we're going to be triggered in those trauma wounds. And it's time to love them well, guys, to forgive them and release them. If you don't, you're going to end up experiencing the karmic repayment. And a lot of times, I started saying this earlier, but a lot of times we think to ourselves, but I'm a good person. I have forgiven everybody that has harmed me. But then you got to ask yourself, have you forgiven yourself? Are you still holding yourself accountable? I did start talking about living with the guy that, abused me. For years after I forgave him, I still didn't forgive myself because I thought, you're psychic. You're psychic. You knew better. You saw the writing on the wall and you stayed anyway. Better. You saw the writing on the wall and you stayed anyway. When you feel like you've forgiven everybody else, but you're still feeling that anchor, those trauma wounds, those red flags, those triggers, sometimes it's because you haven't given yourself a free pass. You haven't expanded your belief system to embrace forgiveness of self, right? So then we have, look at this, guys, a new romantic cycle begins, and we do have the 4 of Wands on the table. And we have by the way, so then we have, look at this, guys, a new romantic cycle begins, and we do have the 4 of Wands on the table. And we have by the way, that was in Libra, a new romantic cycle begins. That's balance too, guys, equal give and take. Then we have you are good enough, systems of not being good enough, not being tall enough or thin enough or just not enough, right? And then we have, last but not least, have faith in your dream. All right, so I want to get a few more cards here for the collective. I'm going to take a look at the light workers, because if you found me and I resonate with you, then you probably are indigo child, you name it. There are so many titles out there. I don't even like titles, but obviously you resonate with being a way shower. And if you do, then we look at what is the collective energy for the light workers. It's the Work Your Light Oracle and the Starseed Oracle, I believe it's called. So I